Yeah.
Here.
All right, and here the Counter Twisted Investigation Team is formed. Its official name is the Counter Twisted Investigation Team.
You like it?
Like,
How would you call it otherwise?
no, the problem is that calling a monster the Twisted is such a. I'm gonna say it's very Japanese sounding because it's such a basic, non-intelligent sounding word to use for a threat. You know what I mean? Like, there's different things you can call things, and some words are elementary school words that you use in grade 1 or 2, and some words are like, that's a $5 word that you use in college, right? So you remember? Did you see? I don't know. Us? Did you see the movie Us?
No.
Okay. The threat in Us, right?
Yeah.
It's called the tethered.
Okay.
Right? Tethered is not a word you're going to hear in kindergarten, right? Yeah. It's not particularly complicated, but it's not a word. Tethering is not something you hear often. It's used in reference to phones hooking up to PCs, and occasionally in terms of straps holding things together. But if you were to hear the word tethered, what does that make you think of?
A link between two
things,
yeah.
Right? Perfect. And it does, and it's at least a vocabulary that is not often used. Therefore, you're like, oh yeah, sure. Sounds a little bit sophisticated. Sounds interesting, right? Twisted is just like, it's what you come up with in grade 4 if you're like, what's the name of your evil monster? Ooh, it's the Twisted.
Okay, but
why is it the Twisted? Well, because you see, on the one hand, it's a creepy version of, like, its body looks all shapen and misshapen and weird and deformed, so it's kind of like a twisted body, but mentally it's like they're evil and they're twisted as well, because twisted refers to things being mentally fucked up. So it's 2 for 1. Isn't that deep? And it's like, no, it's a stupid, shitty word you use in grade 4.
I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna disagree on that. You might say that I'm basic, but I thought the Twisted was a cool name to design this monster.
It's not. It's lame and edgy.
It's lame for you. It's cool for me. Okay. I'm edgy. All right. I loved it.
But this is why you sandbag, and this is why we're getting to the core of our problem here with our entire dynamic, sir. Is that you're like, Twisted is it's a fucking obvious. It's so obvious and simple.
It's too basic. It's
so surface level. Like, if I had to.
Okay, but what else is called the Twisted? Like,
if I had to create an evil sounding thing, using the word twist, it's such a basic word. You know what I mean? Like, at least when you refer to mitochondria and like actual biology in the first games, and you go, these are neo-mitochondrian life forms, you're getting somewhere that sounds at least like it's trying to be scientific, right? Name me one scientist who's going to look at a new form of life, right, that's got these properties and decide that the word twisted is the way they should call them. Like, what scientist that uses actual, like, Latin definitions for things and calls things according to what they are on a cellular or molecular basis would come and arrive on the word twisted? That's what I'm trying to say.
How about they would just want to make an easy word for everyone to call it? Twisted is an easy word, right?
It is. Yes.
But with his face looking at me.
man, look at me.
Look.
It's a very easy word.
Earth Defense Force. What did they call the
EDF? Yeah.
No, EDF. What did they call the alien monster?
I don't know. I don't play EDF.
Oh, you didn't play it yet.
No, I watched you and James Small play it.
Right, okay. They had a name for it. I got...
and I'm not saying, and I'm like, look, dude, Geth Jerk is wild and weird too. That's its own thing, but it's just, there's just a level of like, and I'm going in hard on something that's not even that big of a deal for the sake of this conversation.
Right.
We are now amplifying and the stakes are being raised. But it's because I need to explain where I'm coming from with this. And it's like, naming conventions doesn't have to be a complicated thing, right? But let's go back. Here's a perfect example, okay? And I know I apologize for the break in gameplay here as we do this. But I want to know. Let's go back to Parasite Eve 1.
Yeah.
And look at what the monsters in that were called.
Okay.
All right?
Okay, good idea.
And like, let's go back to like some of what the like pseudoscience that was used.
Okay, let me go back to ADF while
Sure,
we look at
sure,
that.
sure.
They call it the Ravagers.
Okay.
The Ravagers.
Okay.
That's the name for all the enemies in Earth Defense Force. It's not just the ants. It's not just the spider.
Sure.
But it's also robots and Godzilla and things like that. The Ravagers.
EDF isn't exactly attempting to be pseudoscientific either. I mean,
So you're saying this game is trying to
the franchise it comes from.
It comes from, but you
The franchise this comes from discusses cellular microbiology. Okay, so neomitochondrial creatures, as described as NMCs, right?
Yeah.
But
that's from second game. What's the first game?
Well, I'm looking at no, NMCs are from both games.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're just, and like you at some point you're like dealing with the crazy fucking dinosaur, like the T-Rex, right? And it deals with and it gets into that, and the words that get used, right? The things that get used are in reference to modified mitochondria.
In reference to actual scientific words.
Things that people learned in biology class, right? If you scroll down through this list and whatnot, you see various animals and organisms that get like weird extra limbs and all this shit. But I'm just, at no point do you kind of just get something that is just like, it's the
Okay, I get it. I get it. Here's my counter argument.
The MIST team, right, is the Mitochondrian Investigation and Suppression Team, right? It's a funny backronym, but at the end of the day, it's just all I'm saying is that a neomitochondrial creature is a word that at least sounds like a scientist came up with it and maybe classified this new weird threat as that. And the Twisted sounds like a fucking news anchor was trying to make a you know what I mean? Or some idiot just kind of went like, what are they, man? I don't know, dude. They're so fucking creepy and scary. It's like they're twisted and evil monsters, man. Oh, dude, that's what they are. It's the fucking Twisted, bro. And you're just like really? And now the government has to name the team, and the government is gonna go, we have decided that the Counter Twisted Team, aka the Counter, insert slang word, Investigation Team, is gonna be now the official name of the thing. And it's a slang stupid word that no one scientific is gonna use.
Woolie. What else would you call it? If the scientists don't know what the creature are, where they come from,
that's why I'm looking through this timeline.
Okay.
Because the game refuses to tell me what they are.
And have you discovered anything
No,
yet?
I'm in the middle of reading.
Keep reading.
Right? So far, it seems like the Twisted are an excuse to not say neomitochondrial creatures.
Oh, is that what you're trying to say?
It seems like they're just dodging that word.
I'm going to tell you that they're definitely not the same type of monster.
They're not the same type of thing. Yeah, okay.
Because I think mitochondria, it comes from humans changing into monsters, right? But the Twisted came from nowhere.
Fantastic. Okay. Thelonious Cray. Excuse me, I keep getting that wrong.
Operation Red Fog, I think that's the one I'm doing right now. Like I'm going into past to do this one right now.
Right.
Oh no, that's not the one. Wrong. I got it wrong.
And these are all. We have a full timeline.
Yes, a full timeline.
So we could even read about the future.
Yes.
Because they're going into the past.
Yes, but that's the full timeline up until not the future, up until the present, which is 2013.
Yeah, but including stuff we haven't dived into yet.
Yes.
So the Pentagon getting destroyed, for example, is something that we have not seen in the game yet.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And it just keeps talking about the Twisted, and so this is I kind of wanted to get the I started this because I wanted to know more about what the game was not telling me.
Okay.
And that's what I was in the middle of doing. FBI destroyed. That's what you were referring to.
Yeah.
They took it over. Okay.
That's why in the first timeline, the boss Owen, he wasn't there. He's dead. He was the FBI was destroyed. Mm-hmm. And then when you went to the past, you changed something.
He gets rescued.
And then if you go to episode 2, if you go to episode 2, every red events are the new events that changed from the last timeline. This is the new timeline.
So whenever you change things, you see how the timeline gets modified.
Yes.
Okay. That's interesting. How you can see how you're affecting the past.
And that's why in current timeline that we are right now is that FBI do exist. You actually save the FBI.
I see. And for some reason, back here, the Twisted just decided to attack the FBI as a whole.
I guess.
Like, did they lose the entire city, or is it just the FBI headquarters?
It says a great number appeared on the headquarters. I mean,
and at the regional FBI office in New York. Sounds like a coordinated attack to destroy the FBI.
Oh.
Sounds like somebody
was planning it.
Almost. And the destruction of the Pentagon. How about that? Time to get our conspiracy theory foil hats on, because someone's trying to kill America.
So are you gonna read all of that, or
I'm
just
not.
fucking
I'm
like
not.
there's too much to read,
There
right?
really is.
How about like take a look up? Yeah. Do you have? Okay. See. You gotta look.
This has been updated.
Yeah. So if you want the first episode, and then updated because for example, Gabrielle was dead in the first timeline, but she's alive in second timeline.
You get multiple eras that you can look through.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And we got Hunter Boss Owen. Yes.
Who was previously dead and now alive.
Yeah. Does he even know that he's alive due to her changing the past?
Because we talked over, but he doesn't believe in overdrive system. He doesn't believe that you're changing the past at all.
He doesn't believe that it's happening.
No.
Okay. All right. The Babels, these are the literal the towers that just grew up.
Yeah.
Do these have any answers about the Twisted? No, they just swarm towards them. All right, so here's what we're going to say then. The game has not yet chosen to reveal to us what we're dealing with.
Okay.
And you know what? For the sake of the plot, that's fine. I can accept that. I can move forward believing that possibly at some point the game will decide to tell us what's going on. But I will say this, until we find out what that is, we don't have a reason to really fear or care about these enemies. We just know that they're monsters that kill people.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's it.
Okay.
And you know what that is?
What is?
Bad.
I just got a word from Hyde. He says he's found Monsignor. According to his message, she should be up ahead. You'd, better hurry.
So if he doesn't believe in overdrive, what does he think is happening every time you get in the machine?
They're just you're just delusional. This girl's he thinks this girl is a monster herself.
Are they accurate? The coordinates?
And everyone's just standing around watching nothing.
And just take a look. Just watch.
Oh shit.
I've been waiting for this moment. Goodbye, Aya Brea.
Well, that answers my question. Although if he doesn't believe in it, why is he enjoying the process?
Tricky?
That's you have to consider, like, if you're just like, hey, I don't think what you're doing is real, does that necessarily lead to evil laughter in your brain? I don't know. Is it just me?
What? Yeah.
Let's say we have a disagreement
Yeah. Okay.
about what is happening. And
No, but he's obviously evil, right? That's what you're saying. I don't disagree with that. Like when I said that he doesn't believe that she goes in the past,
Yeah.
all I'm saying is that what he said.
What he
said he doesn't believe it.
So
I'm not
far.
saying I believe him.
Yeah.
I was just how would you say it? Quoting him.
Yeah. And you know what? I gotta say, I'm a little bit surprised that the man with the Attache lines didn't turn evil first. First evil went to the man who pulled a gun out and pointed it at you while you were in captivity. Cool guy, that boss.
By the way, this music is one of my favorite tracks of the game.
I can't hear it over the sound of her screaming. Oh, I thank you. Thank you. Cheers. You see Aya's ecstasy squirms. Oh, it restarted it.
Yeah, it does that.
Oh, Vita.
Oh, damn.
Oh my god, your clothes just got ripped apart in one shot. No weak points?
I suck. I suck.
This reminds me of something. What does this music remind me of? I feel like I've heard this composer before.
Well, I would say that it's a new music. It's not a
remix?
a remix. This is not a remix, yeah.
No, but this song reminds me of
Right.
the soundtrack of another game I've played. Yeah. Purple means second life bar, right?
I don't know how many bars. I think he has 3 bars right now. So white is the 3rd bar. So purple should be 2nd bar, and then green is the last bar. I'm gonna die though. I suck.
You'd think the boss would just walk around with a gun and just shoot everybody. But, you know, villains, they gotta do it slow. Give you a chance to...
Oh no, the purple is the 3rd one. So there's
die.
blue.
Okay, so
there's
there's 4.
blue. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, now if you want to discuss about this, you
Sure.
can discuss about it while
so
I'm doing
I'm
that.
trying, because here's what I'm actually trying to do, right? My brain is having a hard time, but I'm trying to find other examples of what I'm describing, right? Where oh, look at her go. Yeah, overdrive. Like, so if you're playing, if the world that you're in, right, is one where other healers, okay. If the world you're in is one where, like, it's like The Walking Dead, right?
Yeah.
And you don't have anything to really, like, scientifically define what is happening. You have no actual full, complete understanding of the events.
Right.
Everybody in The Walking Dead is just a normal person trying to survive, so they eventually come up with a name like The Walkers.
Yes, you're right.
And that's normal, and that makes sense given who's coming up with it, right?
Uh-huh.
But in a world where you get, like, where a bunch of scientists get a chance to analyze and take a crack at something, right, and then possibly give you some better understanding of it, you expect that the vocabulary used would be at least scientific jargon, or pseudo-scientific jargon, you know, and not just, like, elementary nonsense, is all I'm trying to say, right?
Okay, yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So you played Mass Effect?
No, I haven't.
None of them?
None of them.
Okay.
I mean, I played a little bit of the first one. It wasn't my cup of tea.
Okay. Well, the Mass Effect, the title of the game, is a good example of a reference. Oh, you can overdrive it now. The Mass Effect is a reference to a thing that you can learn about in the actual lore of the codex and of the game, right?
Yeah.
And it makes reference to something scientific about the world, where basically the ability to
Okay, keep going. I'm about to beat him, so let you finish your thought.
No, I was just gonna say the name refers to something scientific in the lore.
Yeah.
And the lore gives you a really good explanation for how and why the Mass Effect is important.
Right.
In the science behind why this whole, like, behind why humanity is able to go to space and do amazing things, right?
Okay.
And it's cool in that it's a simple thing that's clearly thought about in a scientific way. So you can believe that someone who is way more qualified than you came up with the name of that term and used it, and it became the
I
title.
understand your disbelief. You know, you make it clear. Like,
So that's it. I want something scientific to be smarter than me. And I want something non-scientific to be my level or dumber. So walkers are my level or dumber.
Yeah.
Twisted is my level and dumber, but the game is telling me that scientists named it that. I'm like, why would a scientist name something that if it's my level or dumber? It doesn't make any sense, you know?
all right.
They would use a name that was much more science literate and or like perhaps again Latin referential or something.
You know what it could be? Maybe Twisted in Japanese sounds cool because they use an English word.
100%.
That's what that must
Which is
be.
why my original thing was that sounds super Japanese because it sounds like someone not native saying something that sound cool. It's like when the word shining shows up all the time.
Yeah.
People, like a lot of Japanese games use the word shining all over the place because shining sounds really great in Japanese, but it doesn't mean anything to English speakers. It has no connotations of purity or light or power, but it carries a lot of those things in Japanese, therefore you hear it all the time, and you translate it here, we just go, shining? Shining wizard? Shining bright star? Like the lyrics of every anime opening reference a shining future? You know what I mean? Like, we get it. What's the big deal about shining? And it's like, it doesn't carry any of the metaphor that we apply. It's a Japanese version of the word.
Alright, we good?
We're good.
We're good. Let's go. Let's finish this.
Oh, Min's like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Well, I mean,
Get out of your own ass.
We've been talking about all over all the
Gabrielle?
dialogues, and I feel like we're missing out. That's why I'm just not. Oh, it's not finished. Never mind.
Wow.